Hi, my name is Michael Cahill. I'm a student athletic therapist at York University, and I'm here for the interview. Thank you for having me. First question, tell me about a time you were able to apply knowledge and skills to a real world setting within a previous job or internship. So one real world skill is a communication skill. I was at a volunteer position at the Toronto Athletic Club, and I was what you could describe an assistant, a physio assistant. However, I didn't have that title. I was just a volunteer helping out. What I did with treatments was I would take a patient who was completing exercises, and I would take him to a bed or take him to a connecting gym, and I would show them the exercises that the certified or physio would give them. And a real world skill was communicating this exercise to someone who had no idea what it was. They came in and they had an issue in their body, but they don't actually have a background in human body. They could have been a social worker, whatever. So my real world skill that I needed to show was communication of the exercise. And I would have steps. First, I would verbally break down the exercise. So I would give them step 1, step 2, step 3 in a very clear, concise, and firm tone so that they would understand. Second, I would do the exercise and then reinforce what I verbally just said. Step 1, if this is a glute bridge, on your back. Step 2, put your hands at your side and use them for support. Step 3, have your feet on the ground and your knees flexed, or bring them closer to your body. Step 4, squeeze your butt. Squeeze your butt as if you are holding in something that you need to go to the washroom. Step 4, lift your squeezed butt into the air. Hold for 1 second at the top. Step 5, bring your butt down. And then I would be like, that is 1 rep of this exercise. And let's say they are doing 8 reps. You do that 8 times. That is now considered a set. Set is just a full repetitions completed. From there, I would get them to do the exercise, and I would do 2 things: tell them what they did right and tell them what they did wrong or need correction. I would never say you did this wrong. This needs correction. Wrong just sounds wrong. Correction is better. They can understand that. I would correct them by going over the exercise with myself again, showing them what they did, almost like acting. And then from there, I would say, this is what you need to correct. Okay, your left butt was just a bit lower. You got to get that here. And I would give them something to help them visualize it. So let's say a bar that would basically provide a straight point of view. Communication was clear, concise, and showing what you needed to do effectively. Second question, describe a time when you came up with a creative solution to a problem in your past work / placement. A creative solution to a problem I had was with regards to a monetary situation a family was coming in for. They're new to Canada and they were looking to buy hockey gear. I was working at Sport Check at the time selling hockey gear. And the big thing was we had a sale going on for multiple pieces of gear, which they could afford. But the big problem was they couldn't afford it all. They can only afford bits and pieces. A creative solution I gave to them was something that I was doing myself, which was going to different places that sold gear for even cheaper than what they were getting at Sport Check. And to me, it wasn't that I wanted to sell the gear and I had to sell the gear from Sport Check. I was giving what the family wanted at something they could afford. And the creative solution was using routes they haven't even considered, which was secondhand. And there are stores called Play Again Sports. And then there's also Kijiji, Facebook Marketplace. And it wasn't I just told them. What I would do is, hey, here's your son. Your son needs a junior medium. Okay, first and foremost, let's make it easy on you. Do we have something that you can afford at Sport Check? No? Okay. I would actually go on the different sites with them and look with them on where they could find it because they didn't know the gear either. So I was their source of knowledge for what the gear was like, if it was good, if it was bad. Then I would explain to them, okay, your son is playing in house, like lowest level. He would only really need this. He's playing once a week. This provides enough protection for his shoulders. He can still move in it. It's a great place to start. And I would also give him a bit of a more expensive option. I'm like, here, this is what you need. Your son is probably going to be probably going to try to be skating a lot. So here's some a bit more expensive skates. Why am I giving you something a bit more expensive? Just because it's a secondary option if when they get to the store or when they try to buy it off Kijiji or something else, that they might not like it. It might be a bit too flimsy. It might be a bit too, like it might be used too much. So here's something that's better quality, will last a bit longer if somebody used it before you, and something that you know you'll get value out of. Tell me a time when you worked with a teammate who was not completing their share of work. How did you handle the situation? What was the result? Back to Sport Check. So there was a teammate who was very isolated in their work. They did everything on their own. They didn't really talk to anybody else. And the thing was, they were there a lot. It wasn't as if they were there once or twice a week. They were a member who was doing various jobs in the store that required communication from us. So what I did was I just simply asked them, why aren't you talking to us? Why do you feel the need to do everything on your own? And I tried to do it in a non-confrontational way. I really just tried to be a friend to them and get on their level. And it would take in a bit of explanation because the person was pretty introverted, and their explanation was just me trying to understand what their thought process was. Hey, I've done other jobs before, like taking a history on them, if you will. Hey, I've done other jobs before. Hey, I've done this. Hey, I've done that. I can work on my own, and I'm very happy to work independently. And I would never get mad at them. I would just say, okay, this is what we need as a job here. So we need you to let us know that this has been done or that's been done. So you completed the bag wall or you completed the skate wall. You priced new merchandise and that's all completed and done. We need you just to let us to know what you've done. You can work, and I would say this, if you can work on your own, that's great. But I reiterated what their job requirements were because I learned them myself when I made mistakes. And I told them, like, this is what we're looking from you. This is what is bare minimum that even other sales associates want from you. And I told them, this is what we want in a clear manner. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is how you're completing them. And I said, for each point, this is how you're completing those and what's going wrong. And I just said, for each of them, for each 5 points, this is how you can work on it. The result was mixed. The person still thought they could do what they wanted to do without really much repercussion. The big thing is I continue to reiterate what's going on. Hey, we still need you to do this. Hey, we still need you to tell us what you've done. Hey, at least leave us a note. Like bare minimum, just leave us a written note. I've done this, this, and this. And what was needed was more of a larger intervention because I was a sales associate talking to a sales associate. I would then had to go to the store manager and let them know what's going on. We've tried this method. I've tried just helping them out and understanding their role. And then we actually had a meeting with a store manager about what was going on. And then further intervention was needed. Tell me about a time when you acted with integrity in your job and workplace. So with my recent job as a pro shop assistant, I do a lot of skate sharpening. I take pride in that. And a lot of the times people will go in for a skate sharpening and not necessarily understand what's going on. And for better or for worse, with either me not communicating that or them just wanting to get the same cut they've always had, sometimes they come back and they're not happy with it. So one customer did such. He wasn't happy with the sharpen I gave him. And I realized he was mad at me. He came at me in a bit of an aggressive manner. And the way to combat that was not for me to get mad at him and say, hey, I did a great job. The thing is I wanted to understand why he was mad. What was going on? What did I do wrong? Where can I get better? So I asked him, what's going on? What were the things that caused you a bit of anger during the game? And he said it was too sharp. He kept on falling. It felt like when he was turning, he was digging in the ice too much. And to me, that just sounded like a sharpen and escape too sharp for what he likes. I went over all the negatives he had, went over his history on that, and I broke it down. Okay, this is what we do as a skate sharpener. I do a standard cut, which is 1/2 inch. So it's basically equal parts, a bite and equal parts glide. I'm like, this is what I can do for you now. I'll do something with more glide, less bite, considering you said it was too sharp. This is what I can do for you. This blade will last. This blade is going to provide you with more glide on your turns, more glide on your speed, and you won't feel that choppiness that he said he had. And I gave that to him. I said, try it out. Let me know. Please give me some feedback so then we can continue to work on it if that's not going to work. And that's how we went at it.